on their school holidays, they decided to go across the road to find out more about her. Before they knew it, they had crossed the road, had knocked on her door and were standing in the lady's fascinating room. Colourful and decorated with vibrant materials on the bed and on the walls, the curious crew stood mesmerised. In the corners and on tables were ornaments and charms that beckoned inspection, but the person they'd come to see was sitting on a purple cushion beside a window. She smiled at them with the same smile she smiled whenever she was in the front yard. Once they'd introduced, Paul immediately asked, "Ruby, do you walk?" She said, looking out the window in a mantra-like tone, "I fly instead using my imagination. My favourite place to visit is the mountain over there." Ruby pointed to the mountain they could all see from their own homes. They loved living near that mountain because there was a waterfall on either side, and in the heavy rain one roared like thunder, while the other poured swiftly into a stream. And there were caves in that mountain. In the warm weather, their parents often took them to visit the Aboriginal cave paintings, and they'd often take a picnic lunch and pretend that they were living in the olden times when caves were homes. That magnificent mountain had served to captivate its neighbours time and again, but this time a new enchantment was active in the neighbourhood. Humans flying. Coming out of a shared, spontaneous flying vision haze, they asked in chorus, "Fly?" "Yes, I fly using my imagination, and I fly as a bird around the mountain, and I sit on branches of trees for rest. I speak to all the birds that visit the neighbourhood. The kookaburras laugh, the cockatoos clown around, the magpies yodel, and the eagles fly high overhead. I especially love flying with the black cockatoos as they journey across the sky, wailing and crying as if they are lost. I've asked them why they sound so sad. They simply say, 'We're not sad, it's our song, it's how we get along.' I always come back so refreshed from my activity in the mountain. So much is happening all the time. Whenever I don't feel like flying, I simply close my eyes and feel all the wonderful sensations of being alive. All the sensations inside every bird are inside you too, my dear friends. Would you like to close your eyes and feel them too?" The children answered that they would, and they gathered round Ruby's cushion, sitting in cross-legged as she was. Okay, be very quiet. Breathe naturally and feel your heart beating. Do you feel it? There are sensations on your head, arms, legs, fingers and toes. Do you feel them? Ruby took a peek to see how her fellow meditators were doing, and they were doing well, all except Sam, who was flapping his arms around as if they were wings of a bird. Ruby leant forward and steadied his arms, whispering in his ears that the real flying would come real soon. After a few moments, Ruby asked the children to listen to the sounds of the world outside. Everything seemed so noisy. The rain, the postman's motorbike, the cars, and the ocean pounding her waves on the rocks and shores. After a few more moments, they'd all opened their eyes, and Sarah exclaimed, "I didn't realise we're so close to the sea," or that so much was happening on the inside, all around us and on the inside as well. Lillie asked Ruby, "Do you feel all those things too?" "I do," she said, "and all that's going on whether you're walking or not. That's why I fly as often as possible to feed my imagination. Your imagination is always there, ready to be used. You can use yours to connect to the world and nature. It's such fun to realise you could be as free as you can imagine, even freer than the birds." Ruby winked at Sam. Sarah smiled. "Ruby, could we come back another day and close our eyes some more with you? We love imagining. Next time, could we visit some different places?" "We sure can, my beautiful friends. We will fly to our heart's delight." Later that day, when they returned home, they realised they couldn't tell their parents why Ruby didn't walk, but they knew she flew instead, and she was teaching them to fly as well, and that's the best fun they could imagine. Maybe next time they would ask her, but only maybe, because being able to fly seemed far more important. The very next day, the kids were back in the front door knocking, saying, "We're ready for our first flying lesson." Ruby was pleased to see them back so soon and knew they were in for some adventures. 9 adventures in fact, which include skyrocketing to Mars and flying by planets and galaxies, experience commotions of flying through the seasons as birds, diving into the deep dark sea to see the bioluminescence of living lights and ride on the back of dolphins that become sharks. They become green friends in another, eco-friendly gardeners in their journey all around their neighbourhood, nurturing the plants and planting symbolic trees. They journey on wild brumbies riding on their backs across the seas to America to meet with other wild mustangs and learn about their secret language. The Sphinx and the great pyramids receive the flying friend on another visit, and they go inside and meet a family and learn about other worldlings out of the world secrets. They journey inside their own bodies in another one and see the wonders of the world within. They go and visit a beautiful rainforest and meet with native families who captivate their attention. And on the very last, they journey back on a time machine and witness the dance of the dinosaurs. The very last time children visit Ruby, everything was slightly different. Although appearing the same, they walked across the road, they knocked on the door, they entered her room, and although Ruby wasn't sitting in her normal position, she was lying on a bed reading a book. When she saw them, she jumped up and she ran to them with open arms to give them a cuddle. They stood there with mouths open and said, "Ruby, I didn't know you could walk." Ruby smiled and said, "I'm just showing you that I can." That's the end of that story, but I have a short poem to conclude. Come fly with me. It's called Come Fly With Me, and it says, "Come fly with me to a land that's free, exploring the vast fields of a fertile mind. Come fly with me, consciously, our imaginations are ready all of the time. Come fly with me, it's liberty to broaden the expanse of the mind. Fly with me, creatively, we are nothing short of divine." Thank you, everybody. Thank you. The rain.
Thank you, Susie, for that inspirational story about the power of imagination.
Yes, Megan, thank you so much.
And Susie's also got merchandise over there. She's got some of her beautiful poetry set to music, I believe.
Yes, as well.
For sale?
Yes, absolutely. Why don't I put the microphone